This is the Best or Worst podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Steven Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
Welcome. This is the Best or Worst podcast, and I am Koji, and this is episode number 39. I just had to check. We had a misstart, and my partner Martin is on vacation in a camping place somewhere in California with his family, and hopefully they don't get shut down and sent back home. But in the meantime, it's just me and my guest. It's our guest today is Juliette Kim. She is one of my wife's best friends. And I think she was in my wife's wedding, or we didn't really have a wedding party, but you were like a bridesmaid, right?
I think that was a maid of honor.
Maid of honor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know the difference between those two. So.
You don't remember my speech? You don't remember any of that? Thanks, Koji.
I don't remember. It's all blurred to me. It's been so many years. But how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And you're located in where are you located?
We're in the Bay Area in a little town called Belmont. Nice. I don't think very many people know where that is. It's in between, let's say, where Apple is, the headquarters in Cupertino, and then the San Francisco airport. So it's like kind of in between there.
Nice. And how's the quarantine treating you?
Oh, it's been up and down, but I think every day is just like, I'm used to it now. So it's like, I don't even try not to read the news because that brings me down. Right? That's awful. But yeah, in the beginning, it was quite an adjustment. But now I think we're in a routine and we're doing well. The kids have adjusted pretty well. I thought it would be hard not seeing their friends and stuff. But yeah.
I mean, they have no choice. They had to get used to it. Just like our son had to get used to it as well. Just because, But are you guys going out? Are you guys staying home? Or are you guys, what's your philosophy? I know a lot of people are quarantining differently. So what is are you guys going out right now at all?
Martha hasn't told you, like in the beginning, I was a freak about germs. Like I was on the one end of the spectrum that like didn't leave the house at all and got everything delivered. And when I did get everything delivered, I washed everything with soap and water, with wipes. It was quite an ordeal. Like if I got a delivery, it would take about an hour and a half to like put everything away. And then I started reading more studies about how it's actually not really the most popular way of getting, for lack of a better word, common way of getting COVID. And so then I just kind of relaxed a little bit. Yeah.
And what about now? Are you guys going out? Or are you guys staying home?
I'm actually venturing out more, and I've started to go to Trader Joe's, living on the edge.
Living on the edge. We still haven't made a Trader Joe's, but we're very much like Marsha, my wife, is not. She doesn't go out except for work. But me and my son still we do jujitsu now, and I go to the gym. And
you go to the gym?
But the gym my gym is different than like a normal gym. My gym's it's like a hotel. I always say it's like a fancy hotel gym. So it's 24 hours. It's like key card, and there's nobody works there. So it's kind of small. It's like a nice fancy hotel gym. Like that's
okay, so it's smaller.
It's really small. So when I go, like I'm probably the only person in there, or maybe there's one other person. Okay. And we're required to wear a mask, and everyone wipes down their equipment before and after they finish. Mm. So and then each of the I don't do the treadmill there, but the treadmills have all like the little boxes and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's nuts.
So it's all like very, I feel like, a lot of people haven't come back. Apparently I've talked to the owner, and a lot of people aren't coming back to do it, but I'm just like, it's, I like working out. I like lifting weights. So I want to go back. So it's important for me to go back.
I know. It's like, but every little thing helps. If you feel safe there, I think it's good for your mental health to go and get out.
And like literally nobody's there. And plus I'm already doing jujitsu, which means I'm like humping somebody basically.
Wait, you're doing jujitsu right now?
Yeah, we're doing jujitsu. Yeah.
No, Koji, you're going to get COVID.
No, we're fine.
Stop it. Don't do it, because you're like touching people. You don't know who those people are. Well, I guess you do know them, but are you doing competitions or like, I don't know.
No, we're not doing competition. Right now it's fixed partners. So we always have the same partners that we're working with.
The same guy. And then do you know that he's not leaving and like he's not?
Well, it's hard to know, right? But we're fine. We're gonna be okay.
Okay. You know what I equate this to, Koji? Okay, so I went to the doctor's office, and my doctor was not wearing a mask.
The doctor wasn't wearing a mask? That's weird.
But it was a plastic surgeon. I'm going to just be full disclosure. It was just to get some touch-up stuff done. Botox. Okay, I'll just be honest. And when I came home, in the moment, I was just so excited to go back to, get Botox. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I didn't even think about him not wearing a mask. And in the moment, I recognized that. But then I was like, oh, I guess it's happening. Then I came home and I was like, babe, I feel like I had unprotected sex. Because I exposed the whole family to potentially germs, right?
Yeah.
Like a disease. And same with you. Whenever you're wearing a mask while you're wrestling around, or are you not?
No, you can't wear a mask. It'll just fall off.
Marcia did not tell me that.
Well, some of the classes, a lot of the classes are solo, so you're just doing it by yourself and with like a dummy, and then some of the classes are fixed partners. So the world is crazy, right? The world's crazy.
Hold on, sorry. I just realized that this is mommy mode. Like Alina's supposed to be on a class, but let me just text the teacher because she's just sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
You won't be able to join today. I'm so all over the place.
This is just being a parent. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just okay. We're good.
Well, what else is going on with you guys? So why don't you tell us a little bit about your business? And I've been following your business. Are you still doing it?
Yeah. Well, 4 years ago, I started an event planning business. It's called, initially we started out calling it Confetti and Wishes because it's mainly children's birthday parties and things like that. But it quickly evolved to more bigger scale events, mainly corporate now before COVID. And so we changed the name more appropriately to just something that I can not be embarrassed telling my event. Like I used to, it's now called C&W events. So it's just more general. So it's more professional. But yeah, so I'm an event planner but we still do little birthday party things and things like that. But we've done events for Facebook and now for Google and for, VC firms and things. So it's just been a crazy ride, just starting out with something that I thought would be something little. And it's just evolved into something more substantial, I guess. And then COVID hit and everything came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to cry about it because, for 4 years I worked my tail off and all of a sudden there's nothing, right? Because just by nature, events are gatherings of people.
Yeah.
So it's not happening. So now we've pivoted. I hate that word because everyone uses that word, pivot your business, but we're doing balloons. I know. My hands, I don't want to gross you out, but they're just I have the worst hand eczema and the latex balloons make it so worse. But yeah, we've been getting a lot of orders for graduations and birthdays. So we do balloon installations now. So I'm just thankful to just be able to keep being creative.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have any work, I would just go crazy. Right. So yeah, so that's what we do or what I do. I have one assistant that helps me. Her name is Gozde. She's really sweet. Yeah, my garage currently is my warehouse.
Nice.
Is so mad at me because we haven't parked my car in there for 3 years.
Yeah, I converted. Well, before the virtual background, that was my office. So we converted my garage. It used to be a garage, and then I changed it all to make it an office.
I think I remember seeing pictures. And can we talk about your treehouse for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about our treehouse.
It looks amazing. How did you think of that? I love tiny houses. It's that same concept.
Yeah.
So tell me more. It looks super cute. Did you do that yourself? I'm
no. Yeah, I didn't do it myself.
Okay, wait. I was going to be super impressed, but I'm all right, wait, what's going on?
So instead of, because we're not going on a family vacation, obviously because of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So instead of a family vacation, we basically, I put into this fort for him or this house. And one of the funny things is if you look at the fort acts actually like the mini version of our house. It's all the same color and the same trim. It's the same trim as the house itself. So it's pretty funny. But my son was doing his summer school up there today. And he was.
How cute. Yeah. Wait, is it multi-levels? It looks like you can go up.
Yeah, multi-level. So there's a downstairs, indoor-ish area. And then there's a ladder that you climb up top. And it's an open balcony kind of thing.
Super cute.
Yeah.
So wait, did you like do any manual labor on it? Let's be honest. Did you at least paint anything, or you just outsourced?
I watched it from my office. Does that count?
The way you posted it on Facebook, it made it look like you did the whole thing. We're like, wow. I wouldn't be surprised though. Like I thought you could if you wanted to, right? You're not handy at all?
No, I'm not handy at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Anybody who really knows me knows that's like. So I used to work at the Japanese American National Museum for a long time, and I wasn't allowed inside the galleries because I would like get injured or just mess. Like I dropped one time. I dropped a hammer on my foot, and I was wearing open toe shoes by accident. And
break something?
No, I just hurt my toe, but it was fine. But yeah, so like basically, I'm not allowed to like do anything kind of manual. I'm more of the thinker and less of the person who does this.
Oh, okay. So you're like Mark then.
Yeah. If I have to do it, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to like, I can't even, Marcia makes all the IKEA furniture. So just put that in perspective.
You just not really. She assembled everything.
Yeah. I could, it's just going to take me a long time.
Oh, that's right. You are the diva in the relationship. You're like, talk about this. That's right.
Yeah, I'm the hot girl. That's all.
Yeah, you're the hot girl. You're the trophy. That's funny.
That's all I ever wanted to be, Juliette, a hot girl. That's the biggest mistake that ever happened in my life. No. But all right, let's get into this. So this is the moment where we decide, or I decide, because there's no partner here. I decide whether I want to hear your best or worst moment. And today we're going to be focusing on best and worst moment as a mom, because you're a mom. So let's go with the worst moment. I want to hear your worst moment as a mom.
So I was thinking about this, right? I was like, what is my worst moment as a mom? I feel like that happens every day, right? Every day there's like some sort of like thing that happens. Like just now, Alina came back. That's my older. She's 10 years old. She just came back from soccer practice. They're doing a socially distanced like drill outside. I came home and I was like, how you doing? And she literally screamed at me like, I was like, oh my God, I've never seen her like that because she's a sweet girl. But I was like, I'm about to go on a podcast. I'm not going to make it an issue. And I'm going to talk to you later about it, right? So like I feel like it's every day, it's pockets of extreme joy and then just awful things that happen. But okay, I would have to say though, like in the spectrum of things, when I think about the worst moments are, I think as a working mom, maybe you might know because you're the woman in the relationship. I don't know. But I feel it's really hard to do everything, be 100% mom, 100% entrepreneur, business owner. So I would have to say in those moments, like when I leave for a job and I see Mila, that's my younger one, she's 6 now. She would do this when she was like 3. She would run out into the driveway as I'm pulling out for an event. Mommy, don't go, just so heartbreaking. Those are the worst moments when you're so torn, when you're like, I need to go do my job, but then your babies are like not wanting you to go. Yeah. The push and pull, that to me is probably the hardest thing as a mom, right? It's just in those moments with pockets of tantrums and stuff,
Is there one particular time that sticks out to you, or is it just kind of all of it together?
I feel like she always does this, like she has some sort of a radar. The bigger the event, the more she gets all clingy or something. Like she probably did that for Facebook because it was probably one of the biggest events I've had. But I feel like she does that every time. So I can't remember, like, it's just, yeah. Now it's getting better because I don't have any jobs. Like.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's definitely tough. I mean, as a dad, it's sometimes I'm torn in multiple pieces.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was one of the things I had to really learn to do was because my job is 24 hours a day. Like I'm always writing. I'm always like have meetings. I have meetings at night. I have meetings during the day. I have meetings all the time. And so, it's trying to stay present.
Yeah,
that's hard. With him, it's like a lot of times it's like, no, I have like people are texting, blowing up my phone, texting me about something because I didn't respond to their email. And it's like, but I'm with my son. It's that push and pull, I think is really
I know. Hard. See that do you feel, let me ask you this. I want to know if this is a male or a female thing. Do you feel guilty if you're like, let me get this text for a second? Do you feel guilt?
I totally feel, no, I for sure I feel guilt because it's like, but I have to, now he's older, so he's 8. So yeah. I'm able to kind of talk to him a little bit and be like, look, this is super, super important. I need to do this, but I remember for me, there was this one moment where I had a really important meeting at, I think I was at the Beverly Hills, Four Seasons or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he had no school or whatever, because I didn't realize this, but they never have school apparently. So like there was no school on a random like Thursday or Friday, and I had to take him to a meeting, and I sat him down at like a table at like the Four Seasons. I was like, you stay here and you do whatever.
Wait. Did he get an iPad or something?
Yeah, he had like work and he had an iPad. He had all these things, but and eyesight. Like, I mean, obviously, I was in the same like I'm just like on another table right next door. But I remember just being like every like 5 seconds, he'd come over and just like,
oh my god,
I need something and want to order milk and order this and order that and whatever, and need to go bathroom. And it was very.
Oh, that's hard.
That was very like, that was like one of those times where it's like, well, yeah, this is like being a dad. And I think the difference between a dad and a mom is that people like understand a mom doing that. And a lot of times people don't understand a dad doing that.
Oh, interesting.
It's like,
who are you with and how do they like react to that?
A bunch of film guys. There was like a big film. Oh, yeah, I should mention it's a big film like investors meeting. With, like really.
Oh God.
And
wait,
so
Marcia couldn't take. Oh, Marcia works too. She's
she works. Yeah, she works more than me. So.
She's a big shot. She's a big shot at her firm.
So like, yeah. So it's like, yeah. So like, they're not. Yeah, especially guys are not. They're not. Okay. Like for example, I was meeting with the mayor of a big city around here, and I was in a meeting, and I remember I got a call from daycare back in the daycare days, and they're like, he threw up. You have to pick him up now. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go. And so I come back to the meeting. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. And they're like, you're leaving a meeting with me? Like,
oh my God.
I gotta go. So I just got up and left because there's no choice. But
yeah.
So it is interesting as a dad, Yeah. But it is. I mean, it's there's a lot of prejudice because when I was going through the infant days, there's a lot of like rest. For example, like a lot of McDonald's. We didn't eat McDonald's, but like those kinds of places didn't have changing rooms in the male bathrooms. So I would have to go to I'd have to ask the moms and be like, hey, can you walk me into the girls' bathroom so I could change my son? Like, because I didn't want to just walk into a woman's bathroom because that'd be weird. But if somebody else is with me and I could just change real quick and get out of there, but it's like or I go to a store. I remember this. I go to a store with him and people would say, oh, it's great. It's daddy day. Is mommy getting her nails done? And I'm like, no, mommy works.
That's really offensive.
Mommy's working. like this is my this is what we're doing, right? But I don't know.
So you still get it because you're definitely hands-on. It's not like you're also one of those dads that leave and come back at 8 or whatever, 6 dinner time.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: who does the cooking in your house?
I think actually now that the wife is home, she cooks more.
The wife.
Yeah, the wife. I don't know if she wants me to use her name. That's why I try not to use her name.
Didn't we say her name like so many times?
We did already. So it's Marcia. Yeah, Marcia. Yeah, she doesn't love she's not home. So usually when she's at home, I do the cooking.
That's right.
But when she's home, she's home a lot more. Obviously she works from home now because of this whole thing. So she's doing more of it. But usually it's like it's very. Because we're just kind of running from activity to activity, and I only have one, so I couldn't imagine multiple. But we only have so we have so many activities. So it's usually like we don't get home till later, and So actually, let me ask you this: what has been the biggest blessing from the quarantine as a mom? Has there been any kind of blessings from this?
Oh my gosh, so many. But yesterday I was driving. I can't remember where, and I was exiting, and I remember thinking, I'm actually watching my kids grow up. Like you can tell every day, like Alina's growing like a weed. And before I was so busy, like even in March, I was so busy. I don't notice the little things, right? Because you're just kind of pushing through and just getting things done, work and household stuff. But now that we have a little more downtime, I'm actually like physically, I can see them grow up. And like, I'm able to witness little things that matter so much to them, right? So that's been a blessing. So many blessings. I realize although I'm an extrovert and I need my friends, I don't really need them as much as I thought. Meaning like I'm happy being at home. I mean, I used to do my Zoom calls. Like I had like 3 or 4 happy hour Zoom calls a week, like, cause I just thought it'd be fun and we all were missing each other. But then I'm like, I kind of got zoomed out.
Yeah.
So then I just started kind of, canceling them or I still have our Zoom calls with Marcia, but that's another blessing is I am definitely keeping more in touch with my friends. Like with Marsha, like, your wife, I would talk to her maybe at the most once every 2 months, text here and there. But now we're talking every 2 weeks with, the other sorority sisters, keeping in touch with friends and fostering those relationships,
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Cause I think that's been like I was saying, I'm so busy. We're so busy trying to, once school ends, it's like he has Kumon and he has jujitsu and basketball practice and whatever other things he's doing. And it's just so busy running around from place to place that this is like the first time I've been able to really like, we have nowhere to go. Right. So we're just going to spend time together. I mean, he's even set up
Do you know what I mean by you can see them grow up?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever noticed like you wake up and Taka was like taller? Have you ever noticed that?
No, I've never noticed that. No.
You grew like literally overnight. Like maybe when he's older, you'll see it. It's just like a weird thing where she's just like becoming longer and thinner. Like Mark is like, she's getting real tall. It's just so crazy. It's like flowers. I have flowers in front of me. Then, when you, especially like tulips, right? You arrange it the night before, and then like I did an arrangement yesterday, and then they just like the positioning of it changed, and I was like, wait, why does my arrangement look different? And I realized it like grew like half an inch. Or it's just that kind of like, wow, you're witnessing nature or whatever. It's just that kind of feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever, but I do recognize personality.
Yeah,
change a lot more. Yeah, like a lot more of like him growing up and changing and stuff. And just also the other thing for me, it's I understand school is terrible now. That like his schooling is terrible, and that everything he learns at home is way better than anything he learns at school.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So now you've noticed like how bad his school was.
Well, not that, I mean, his school's good. It's just that like, that the public like he goes to public school and the public education's not all that great. Before I'm so busy that I'm not really super thinking about what's going on. But now like he's in my office in class when he was doing classes and I could hear it, and I'm just like, this is terrible. You guys are like, these teachers are terrible. They don't know what they're talking about. And, these other students have no idea what they're doing. And the parents are not involved. And, because there's always like you go to school, you do your thing. And then I see you when you come back. And I only find out what happens if the teacher talks to me or one of the other parents talk to me, but very rarely am I finding out anything that's, but now it's like, no, I know exactly what he's studying and what he's reading and what's going on. Stuff and also just the teachers as well.
Where do you stand, Koji, on the whole like COVID thing with with going back to school? Like obviously you're a little bit more lax than I am. I would never go to the gym. That scares me.
I don't think they're going to school the rest of this physical year.
You think so?
No. Because if a kid gets sick, like that's a lawsuit.
I know.
Could you imagine the kind of lawsuit? Like I would sue the hell out of this school.
I know. Where did I read this? On someone's feed. A bunch of teachers just went into a meeting about reopening of the schools. Yeah. And like 10 of them caught COVID in that in-person meeting. Yeah. They're all like heads of schools. Yeah. So crazy.
But for here in LA County, the LA County Public Health is putting out guidelines soon. And once those guidelines come out, that's when they're going to really be able to decide if we can actually go to school or not. I mean, they're talking about doing like on-off days and AM, PM things and all these other things. But I mean, the biggest issue is like, there's nothing wrong with online schooling. It's just, you can't teach in the same way. Like that's the big thing is like, you have to actually change your teaching style. So I don't know if I teach at colleges. I teach at a couple of universities.
Oh I remember this. Okay. Now
so I've been doing like, I've been doing a lot of like online training in terms of teaching and just kind of, and just like, that's why when I hear the teachers, I'm like, you guys got to learn how to do it. Like for example, the biggest difference, like when I teach now, I don't lecture on Zoom or whatever I'm using. Mm-hmm. So I actually videotape all my lectures and I release it to my students as homework. So their homework is to watch my lectures and take notes. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then in class, we let me take a step back. So usually like I lecture in class and the homework is the solidifying what I taught them, right? To make sure they understand it. Yep. So now it's the opposite. The homework is the teaching and the in class is solidifying. So when I have the students in front of me, I could be like, hey, Juliette, what do you think about this? And then we could have a conversation around this. What do you, so we workshop in person now.
Oh, that's smart
so
because
because now we have face-to-face time is I want it to be useful instead of me just talking for 3 hours and you being, oh my God, when is this dude going to stop talking? Like my lecture is now 3 hours on video. So you can watch 10 minutes at a time. You can watch an hour. You can watch all 3. I don't care as long as you watch the whole thing, So it's a different philosophy. So then when you're with me, you could ask me questions. When you said this, I don't understand what you meant by that. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Okay, now I have an assignment for you guys. Everyone sit down, start to do this. Okay, like how did everyone do? Let's talk about it. So it's like, it's just a different kind of philosophy because nobody wants, I'm doing like classes. I'm in classes and I'm just like, I don't want to listen to you for 2 hours, dude. Like when you're on 2 hours, I'm playing video games on my phone. I'm like, right. I'm doing everything, but I'm not going to listen to you dude talk for an hour, 2 hours, and when I do lectures online, it's like 10 minutes.
This is very interesting. And I'm going to take this information back to, I'm on, the board of this group called Common Ground Speaker Series. It's a consortium of private schools that come together and then we pool our money and we hire speakers, authors, and people. It's the parent education. That's the backdrop.
Yeah.
And now that we're, during times of COVID, we do these like 300 to 500 people events, right? Where speakers come and then the parents are there listening, but now it's all via video.
Yeah.
Now we're having these strategic discussions about what's the best way to use video so that we don't become a TED Talk. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. How do we keep people engaged, right? Yeah. And we've come to the conclusion that people, after polling some people, we like the interaction, even if it's via Zoom, instead of being talked at, like that's what you're talking about. Yeah. It's more meaningful to have these conversations.
So I would record because I do programming for the Japanese American National Museum, and that's what I would do is I ask them to do like a 20-minute talk. Just record it.
That's fun.
And then the people.
Oh my gosh, you're doing so much. I can't even keep track. So you're teaching classes. What are you teaching? Film?
I teach screenwriting. Yeah, I teach at UCLA Extensions, New York Film Academy, and then now I'm teaching at Chapman University soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're doing like your 3 podcasts.
My 3 podcasts, and then I'm still writing and producing stuff. Yeah.
Wow. What are you working on now?
Whose podcast is this? Who's the guest on this show? No,
I don't know. That's why I told you. I like asking.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's my style of talking. I love finding,
I'm writing a ton of stuff, but I'm working on a horror film called Welcome to My Soul.
Oh, yeah. That sounds pretty dark.
So it's a horror movie. So I'm writing a lot of horror right now, and there's a lot of this time is actually Hollywood has been really crazy still during this COVID. Like I have meetings. I have meetings every day. I have lots of pitches every day because now executives are just like us. They're home, so they're reading a lot more, and they're.
So what's the situation with movies and like my favorite show, Outlander? When are they going to start? Like when can they start filming?
They could have started filming on June 12th in LA at least.
They could.
But it's just now it's like super challenging with all the COVID. Like I was talking to an insurance company, and they were saying like I had to have like 3 places have people eat. With no more than 10 people eating at a certain place. I have to have like multiple crews just in case one crew gets sick. Like an entire crew anybody gets sick, I have to move that crew and bring a new crew in. I have to, it's like really, really, I can't have a certain number of people at a certain time in a certain one location. It's really challenging. So like all the costs are like double right now. But I know one of my friends is a producer on a show and they're going to go to Hawaii. And so basically they go to Hawaii, they quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Everyone quarantines for 2 weeks and then they all shoot and they're all kind of stuck there, right? Together.
Wow, that's crazy. But you're allowed to technically, can you stop doing that, babe? It's really loud. I'm on a podcast with Koji and Mark.
Hi, Mark.
So you're technically allowed to shoot.
You can start shooting. Yeah. You can start shooting. It's just, there's a lot of like rules and regulations though around and just kind of, and insurance is super, super expensive right now. So I don't know. It's really weird. It's a weird time for shooting right now still. Like I'm not shooting anything. I'm just shooting like small little stuff for like different places, but not like anything big.
Well, I'm glad that you still have work and you're keeping yourself busy because I wonder how people are doing just across all different spectrums of work, right? In line, like I think Marsha's been busy.
Marsha's been busy, yeah.
Yeah, Mark's been busy, still the same. He's in finance. You're in the movie industry. Sure that's shifted a bit like you've telling me about, but yeah, I feel like the events industry really got hit big though.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was furloughed from the museum because there's no events. There's not going to be any events at the museum. So basically I did what you do, except I do for a museum. Yeah, so all the events there. That's why. So I totally understand event stuff. That's like a passion of mine.
Fun.
But
yeah.
But the
Anyway.
difference, my events though, and your events was that they're not my client. I'm the client. So they can't tell me what to do.
How does that work?
Like, so like I put it on the event. So like if I invite you to the museum for something, like and that person complains to me about something, I don't have to do it because it's me. It's my event, not your event.
Oh, right. That's because you're working in-house for the museum and you just happen to be doing the event there.
Yeah.
So the clients that come, that's your event.
My event. So like,
You're like party for
yeah. So like there's an event person like you who over there, and if like the person says, I want more air conditioning, they try to do that to accommodate the person paying rental, right? Whereas for me, it's like, no, like I'm not going to do whatever you ask me to do. I mean, I don't say it like that, but
yeah. So you're like throwing your own party at your house pretty much, and the guests are just coming. They can't complain about it.
Yeah. This
totally
is
different dynamic, by the way.
Yeah. This is why Marcia is always last when I see other parents and I get all competitive about birthday parties. That I need to like throw a better birthday party because I feel like they're like trying to outshine me on my birthday party.
Wait, are your birthday parties super fancy? I haven't seen any pictures of them.
No, they're not. I just want to. They don't have to be fancy. They just have to be better. I don't believe in fanciness. I believe in like, just making it like, oh, there's bigger, better stuff happening. Better.
You're such a trophy wife. Seriously, everything about you.
That's why Marsha's told you about my competition with you secretly about the Christmas cards, right?
No, she hasn't. You'll never win because that's like my biggest pride and joy. I
judge my life on my Christmas cards, holiday cards being better than your holiday cards. So I spend time thinking about how, and when I get your card, I have to like study it and then try to do something different. So that's my responsibility. Yeah, I am the trophy wife.
You're such a trophy. It's hilarious.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was really great talking to you. Although I feel like I was the guest and you were the host, but that's okay.
That's fun. I just haven't seen you in a while, so it's
definitely
nice to catch up. Thank you for having me.
And where can people find out more about your company? Do you want to give out a website or?
Sure, I'm on Instagram, CW Events SF, and then my website is cw-events.com.
Great, and I'll put a link on the notes so everybody can see that.
I'll text it to you so you have it.
Thank you, Juliette. Thank you everybody for listening. Please rate and review and subscribe to our podcasts. Please, one of the things you could really do is help us is by leaving a review. It's really, really helpful. I know that there's a bunch of you guys listening, and I want more reviews. I want more mentions, please, and also make sure to come on our socials, Best or Worst Pod, and tell us if you want to be a guest on the show. And I should have mentioned this earlier in the podcast. Two housekeeping things. One is we have a brand new website called Best or Worst Pod with all our former episodes there. You can see the videos, you can see the clips, you can get the audio, obviously, and you can find out more about Martin and I. And also, last thing, this is for me though, personally, I have a new online screenwriting course that I just dropped today, which is Thursday, which is way later than you're going to see this, but it's on Udemy. So definitely find that out. Screenwriting 101. It's $19.99 and it's about 4.5 hours of content on how to learn to write a script from beginning to end. So thank you, Juliette. Sorry about that.
No, it's amazing.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
My hand's disappearing.
Bye.
Bye.